Hi everyone, hope you are doing well. This is First Pan. I'm a mobile and web developer based in New York City. Welcome to my video series Code Sharing React and React Native. Today we are working on video 1.2. This is the agenda. We are going back to our React app for the web, and we're gonna uh, make it happen that it can read and render data from a backend server instead of rendering this static uh, data of messages. So we're gonna focus on list of messages component, basically. Um, so this is where we left off from video 1.1, and we're going to do work in this component. If we go to our code, this is list of messages component. Uh, so we're going to replace this static data, and we start with constructor props super props this state equals to messages, which is blank. And we're going to create component in mount method. Component did mount, and we're gonna simple console log component did mount. I am component did mount method, and we can see from our browser inspect console, and it works. Component did mount. I am component did mount method. So this is gonna be very good, and we're gonna trying to create some static data to see how if we can console log in the component in mount. So const data equals to, this is an array, I'm going to have user always Alice, message body. I try to make it simple, just say hi. And we probably need one more message. This time is Bob, and he says yes. So instead of saying I am component in mount method, I want to say JSON stringify data, and want to see inspect console. Yes, so these are the console log the data, and I know this is going to work. And basically I want to render this, so I'm going to do the mapping. this state messages map message index and I'm going to return so will be a list key equals to index, and I'm going to have the data in between the tags. Message dot user message dot message body, and in here I need to do this set state messages data, and it renders after we map our messages with the data. And so at the end of the day, the goal is to read and render data from a remote REST API server. So instead of using this static data, we're going to create an API manager, which is utilities class dot get. We can say this will be the endpoint. Params is now, and we're going to response, and so if I'm going to define msg equals to err message or and then alert this error message and then return. But the API manager class, the utilities class, we need to create it, so it will be under src parallel to components. I need to command D, have another command building window, li cd src. I'm going to create a new utils folder, cd utils. We're going to create two more files. One is this API manager.js, the other is index.js. So we start with index.js. We just need to import. Before we can do this, we need to npm install super agent dependency for the API manager utilities class to work. So we need to, while it is npm install a super agent, we can start working on the code in this utilities class. Import API manager from dot API manager and export API manager. That's it. And within API manager itself, first I need to import super agent from super agent, export default. We start with, because this is a get, endpoint params and callback. Super agent, get at endpoint, set no query now, set accept application JSON and end R response. So if we need to have callback response body is return to callback now. So this will be our API manager utilities class. And let's go back to the list of managers, the list of messages component. We need to have an endpoint. So the endpoint here, if we take a look, I already set up backend server by using node.js, and I deploy it on Heroku. So in here, this endpoint, you have the options. You can build your own backend server, or you can use mine. It should work. And by the way, I'm gonna create a separate video 3.2, just fully focusing on how to build a Node.js backend server by using MongoDB. And it will be a very interesting video. So now we have things in here, so it should be able to render the backend information. It says, oh, there's one thing, I'm sorry for that. I need to import API manager from utils. API manager. Okay. API manager. Data. Okay. So this data here should be response results, and then results equals to response results. This should be results. Okay. API manager component did mount. So basically, this section should be in here. So now, if we refresh, you see, so this is exactly the data from the backend when we make this API call. We get Alice, congrats from this backend server. So we know it's working. So instead of rendering the static data, we are actually read and render data from a remote backend server, which is using REST API. And the nice thing about today's video is that all these codes for the API manager and inside list of messages, this component in mount can be 100% shareable with our React native app for the mobile in the next video. We will do that very soon. So basically we can see an overview of next video. So in video 2.2, we'll do the same thing for the React Native app, and I just can't wait. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you soon.